unseen hand dragging a scrap fight. Cross contour, a little bit of backlight. Black ink after a Bristol to baptize. You can imagine a rush that ensue when you get 3 dimensions stuffed in a 2. Then it's off to a school where it's all you can do, being trained and observed by a capable few. Back in New York by peeps and a dog in a 2-bedroom doing menial jobs. Plus rhyming and stealing and being a clod. Distractions, freedom, a rod. I left some years of giving a light. I left some will, the spirit away. I let my fears materialize. I let my skills deteriorate. Horn about a thought of what I should have been. Continuing a mission that was rooted in a 20-year affinity and rickety condition with an ID crisis. Snap on the front lawn, look up in the sky. It's shapes falling out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. And now we're colors pouring out of the fringe. All heart though we would have made cowardly kings. They will chop you down just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Just to count your rings. Used to paint. Hard to admit that I used to paint. Natural light on a human face. Stenciled fire in his roommate's face.
Everyone, I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Tonight's matchup features 2 quarterbacks who will be trying to lead their team to victory. It's Rodgers' Packers going up against Smith's Chiefs. With that, let's get out to Arrowhead. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you very much, Larry. We are here on a beautiful afternoon for football. Straight ahead, we've got a good one on tap here between the Green Bay Packers and the Kansas City Chiefs. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. This is Charkandrick West. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On the ground, it's West again. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
On first down, Smith. And he's got the hook up for the first time with a veteran, Jeremy Maclin. 12 yards on the pickup, and it'll give the Chiefs a first down.
Well, it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Caught, Kelsey, left side. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Surveying the field. Looking for Kelsey on the deep ball. His favorite target, Travis Kelsey, the intended receiver. And it's 3rd and short. And certainly a key cog in this offensive wheel is Jeremy Maclin.
You've just got to find ways to get him the ball, whether you put him in the slot or put him out on the perimeter.
2 yards to go here on 3rd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now some love it, some hate it. Here it is. It's the Wildcat look. They'll let their receiver run it out of the Wildcat. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard.
3rd and 2 and they ran the ball for only 1 yard, and everybody's going to scream at the offense. But let's give a lot of credit to the defense on that play. Defensive front out leveraged the offensive line. They got more people to the football. Yeah, they won that battle in a big way, and they're forcing a big decision now by the guys on offense.
Santos continues his hot ways. He was 4 for 4, including the game winner in Week 10. He's 22 of 25 this year, so those checks are going to cash.
Not only are they going to cash, but his teammates feel fantastic about when he trots onto the field. Most of the time, when the kicker runs out there, there's a little bit of a letdown, which means you're not going to get a touchdown. But when he pops out there and puts it through the post, I think it energizes his team.
They'll run here. This is James Starks. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. And a wide receiver to watch in this offense, certainly Jordy Nelson.
And most defenses watch him run past them. Jordy Nelson can run every route in the route tree and take it to the house.
Caught on the right side by Adams. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down. And let's take a look at the defensive starters for Kansas City.
Dontari Poe emerged on the scene fast as a young player and continues to make big plays at defensive tackle.
And he's going to have the 1st down at about the 38. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the 1st down. And that's what he just did.
When Starks played against the Titans, it was his first appearance since Week 5. He had a knee issue and played 70% of the snaps, but managed just 33 yards on 7 carries.
And I would like to think that without all the extra injuries the Packers have had at the running back position, they would have eased him in a little bit more, but they had to use him. He's their #1 back, the only true running back that they could use in that game, so he had to play a lot, even though he didn't have great production.
And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
On any passes in the middle of the field, anyone who's going after the football is going to be conscious that it's probably going to be contested and often physically. Sometimes that leads to drops.
And an extra DB here for the Chiefs on 3rd down.
Pass situation.
Here's Rodgers to throw. This is caught by Jackson. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
And fits the exact right word. Over the middle, there's almost always traffic, so anytime you're a receiver in that area, you're not just focused on catching the football. You're wondering where the collision's going to come from, right? Because there's almost always someone there able to concentrate, catch it, and even added a little extra at the end with a short run.
And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the offense behind the chains here, a touch on 2nd and 11. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. 2nd quarter about to get underway with the Packers in possession of the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. From midfield, here's Rodgers. Out in the flat for Starks. Boy, this Chiefs defense, they were something against the Panthers in Week 10, especially in the 4th quarter. Eric Berry, what a pick-6 he had. Marcus Peters with an impressive late strip of Kelvin Benjamin, set up the game-winning field goal. They were good.
Well, how about when Carolina had, what, a 20-play drive and looked like they were about to go up 3 scores, and they get the SEC connection, back-to-back sacks with Dee Ford and Chris Jones, and kept them from really extending their lead and giving them an opportunity to make that comeback.
Now, this is a crew that's plus 14 in turnover margin, best in the NFL. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now, the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, Great hand-eye coordination. Guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Now Starks. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. James Starks, a 9-yard touchdown run. And once again, the Packers, they're back out in front. And he puts it through. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. On first down, it's Smith. He's got the hook up with Conley. And he's brought down. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
That was a nice completion on an out route. And those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Rolling to his right. They're complete. This is Albert Wilson. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. Albert Wilson, 61 yards. And the Chiefs are once again going to retake the lead. Great corner out there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This will be taken in at the 1. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
Now Rodgers throwing on second down. And Cook has it left side. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Caught left side by Cobb. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and it's a second down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by the linebacker, Tamahali. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. After the interception, here's Smith. Caught here by Conley. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a gain of 9, and it'll be second and about a yard. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. On second down, here's Smith. Setting up the screen for West. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. They'll give him a yard on the play, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. And they're going to hurry back to the line now. It looks like the Packers have added an extra. And now the ball's loose. Smith loses it.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
Nelson, a career-high 12 catches in that Week 10 loss. You know, he became the 4th Packer this year to catch 10 or more balls in a game. Devontae Adams, Randall Cobb, Ty Montgomery, they've done it as well.
And you know what else is really nice now for Jordy Nelson? When's the last time someone asked about his knee, about the return? Is the rust still there? Will he get his speed back? That's all gone now. We're back to full Jordy Nelson again. He's trying to figure out a way to help his team win some games.
And, Charles, I got to tell the story of our production meeting the other day. The guys were discussing MVP candidates, and you jumped in and said, hey, we need a collective MVP. The Dallas Cowboys O-line.
And I'm just glad the table supported me when I jumped up on it, because this Dallas offensive line fires me up. Travis Frederick at center, Ronald Leary at left guard, Zach Martin at right guard, Doug Free at right tackle, Tyron Smith at left tackle. They're as good as it is in the league. I think they're the best in the league, clearly. They should be in consideration for the MVP.
You know, Charles, the Packers may have hit a rough stretch, but Devontae Adams has been a bright spot. 156 yards in Week 10. He's up over 400 in his last 4 games.
And you always like to throw some praise at some guys who maybe caught some criticism earlier. And when you talk about Devontae Adams, a lot of people said he was undependable in his route running, and Aaron Rodgers really wouldn't look for him. That's not nearly the case now. He's become one of their primary targets for the Packers.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Rodgers now on first down. It gets it over the middle to Cobb. And he's brought down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Throwing now is Rodgers. Look at the time. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. And Crosby puts it through, and that will tie things up as we head toward halftime. And that 3-point tally now means we are even here toward the end of the second quarter.
And what a way to end the half. Put some points on the board, feel better about yourselves as a team, and you're right back to even.
So now here are the Chiefs as their offense makes their way back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. 17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue. Rodgers now on first down. toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Okay, that incompletion gives me a chance to get your thoughts on Cleveland. Is there a win on that schedule for the Browns?
I think that there is, because I just don't see this team as an 0-16 team. There is talent there. Obviously, Joe Thomas at left tackle and Joe Hayden at corner. And they've got some players on the squad. But the bottom line is, when you have this bad momentum going, how do you reverse it? You know the game I'm identifying? San Diego coming to Cleveland Christmas Eve. Long trip, warm weather team going into the cold of Cleveland. That could be the one.
Well, they brought in an extra defensive back here, so probably not expecting a run on 3rd and 3.
A good call.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn: find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They'll get 16 yards there, and it'll be a Green Bay first down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Starts. Oh, he's got some breathing room. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. They come out here in the I. And they give this time to the tailback. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great effort there. Taking it in from 14 yards out. And the Packers have moved out in front. And his kick is good. Now after the touchdown, here's Crosby to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here's the Chiefs offense ready for their first reps in half number 2. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know, at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the
Most.
Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Throwing back across his body. A great read, and it's picked off. And he'll get it all the way down inside the 35-yard line. Now the Packers get set to go. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way, because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
This is Starks. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Rodgers to throw on 2nd down. He's going to float this over the middle deep. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd.
Tremendous field position there, and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
Well, good field position to start the drive, but under the gun now here on 3rd and 8. Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete. 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
So it's an empty possession there, and you'd have to say it's not like him to come up short on a kick like that.
Yeah, and it's real easy for me to say this, but anything in the 40 to 49-yard range should be pretty automatic for an NFL kicker, especially in terms of at least getting it there. So you're right. That is a surprise that this would come up short.
To throw on second down is Smith. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target, and it's 3rd and 5.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Jeremy Maclin, the intended receiver, and it's 4th down.
That was a classic example of trying to run with the ball without securing the catch. He was thinking about those rack yards instead of making the catch first and then taking off.
And no move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They're going to go for it. It's Smith. And that will be caught, but out of bounds. Out of bounds, ruled incomplete here. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And they've got to be a little bit frustrated about that last drive. Missed field goal.
Always hurts a team because, you know, you've put something out there, you've given yourself a chance, you're in range, and the ball doesn't go through the post. But it's not something to panic about, I don't believe. Just keep playing and keep going.
And he's going to go down. Back across midfield, he's sacked at the 46.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
That'll be a gain of 16, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Rodgers going to try and throw on 3rd down. And Adams has it complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a big 32-yard play on 3rd. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks. We're back now in KC. It's Packer football here as they've got the lead as well to begin the 4th quarter. For starts. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. You got to be ready for anything when you play defense against this head coach. That is not something you'd expect to see here in the red zone, but it winds up getting them a few yards.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now it looks like they might be expecting a pass, an extra DB in on 3rd and goal.
That's how the game has changed. Now we think pass first, even in goal line situations.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Crosby puts it through, and they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily The coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Second down now after the pass completion.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
And I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. Smith now to throw. And it's complete to Kelsey. A good pickup there at 22. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now a first down throw. It's Smith. Forced out to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. But not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Now Smith, and he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. Escaping the pressure right. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he's brought down after a good game. And they pick up 25 as they convert on 3rd. And quickly, they get to the line. And the back goes into motion. Again, Smith. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the Michigan man, Jake Ryan. There he goes, right side. Oh, no, he lost the football. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
But they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
So 2nd and 10 here. 5 wides in the game. 4 of them to the right side. On 2nd and 10, Smith. Flushed out right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. Chris Conley, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
As a general rule, when you take a deep shot downfield, it's usually a timing pattern. Quarterback in the pocket and looking to hit his receiver downfield. But when he has to move outside of it, timing often gets thrown off. And on that play, that caused the incompletion.
In motion, Hill. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Flush to his right. And that's incomplete. Now they've got to be a little frustrated here to not complete that on 3rd down after having such a long drive going.
Hey, you're talking about going over 70 yards on the drive. Yeah, did you say a little frustrated?
Very frustrated.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Very frustrated. There's no doubt about it. They thought they were going to have a chance to cash in the end zone. Now it looks like it's likely a field goal attempt.
Caught. Kelsey, left side. And he's brought down after a good game. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. And a strange one here, a little befuddled. They're sending out the field goal unit now. He was true on his first. This a tough one from 49 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And that will tighten this one up a bit. Now a 1-score game at 20-13. So just under 2 minutes to play, and this would figure to pretty much be your ball game right here. And this one's going to be covered up by the Packers hands team. Well, for a second there, I had flashbacks to a few years ago, the NFC Championship game for the Packers, but here they're able to hold on.
And many things changed in Green Bay after that game. Personnel, people coaching, the whole deal. And in this case, they get it done. No fail like they had in Seattle.
Oh, Starks lost the football. Now here's a defensive timeout called by the Chiefs. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages.
Easy.
Rodgers throwing here. He's got time. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback, 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you do in a big way. And what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Caught by Montgomery. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. And now here comes Kansas City. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Halfback sent in motion. They'll look to throw. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Down 7, and they've got to go for it here on 4th down. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. He's back to throw, and he's got his man in stride, complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and on 4th down, they're able to convert and move the sticks. Looking to speed things up here, going with some tempo. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. It's Nick Perry with a